Imagine trying to use a single grammatical contraction to totally escape a reality television receipt.
Right, like that's going to work.
Exactly. Or, picture millions of dollars in personal injury settlements being dragged into this brutal divorce battle over, of all things, pool salt.
Unbelievable.
It really is. Today, we are unpacking a wild landscape of unscripted television where the cameras might stop rolling, but the consequences, they absolutely do not.
Yeah, they really don't.
We have a grammatical defense to an alleged lie on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We've got explosive leaked divorce texts involving $300,000 on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Teresa Giudice completely bewildering producers on New Jersey.
Oh man, the Teresa stuff is wild.
Oh, it really is. We also have Kyle Richards mysteriously missing from an Ultimate Girls Trip photo, Brandi Glanville seeking a 10-year truce with Lisa Vanderpump, and like this massive Instagram payout for an Orange County legend.
Which is just staggering money, by the way.
Right. And if that isn't enough, we are looking at Disney pulling a highly anticipated Bachelorette season, the uncertain future of Summerhouse, and a jaw-dropping request for a husband's sperm on The Real Housewives of Rhode Island. We'll cover everything coming up in this audio. Hey, this is Delilah.
Hey, this is Fahid.
Welcome to Reality TV Audio Podcast, where we break down the latest in reality TV every day.
And we really want to invite you to jump into this deep dive of the source material with us. We're trying to figure out where the lines between on-camera storylines and real-life consequences truly blur.
So let's dive straight into the most viral trending news of the day. We are looking at The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 15 reunion.
Yeah, part 1 just aired.
Right, with part 2 coming up on April 30th. And we have Bozomu St. John clashing with Amanda Francis.
And this fight, I mean, it centers entirely on their respective online courses.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So Amanda claims Bozomu admitted on camera that she was actively losing money on her business. And Bravo editors, they actually rolled the tape. The closed captions broadcast to millions of viewers clearly read, "I lose money on it."
Well, you have to consider the mechanics of how those captions are generated.
What do you mean?
Like Bravo, just like any major network, they rely on compliance teams and audio engineers to create accurate closed captioning. It's for ADA compliance.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, they isolate the vocal tracks to decipher, like, mumbled or crosstalk audio. So when a network stamps, "I lose money on it," across the screen, it essentially becomes the definitive historical record for the audience.
Yeah, but Bozomu took to Instagram to dispute that record entirely.
Wait, really? What was her defense?
She claims the operative word she used wasn't the present tense. She's saying it was the conditional "I'd."
Like, I would.
Exactly, as in, I would lose money on it. She's arguing she was making a hypothetical statement about a potential scenario, not, an admission of a failing business.
I mean, that feels like a stretch.
Right. I am really struggling to buy that defense based on the surrounding context. Claiming the network missed a D at the end of a syllable feels like a very convenient grammatical loophole.
Yeah, especially when you look at the rest of what she said.
Exactly. If you look at her full statement, right after she allegedly says, "I lose money on it," she follows it up by saying, "But that's okay with me because that's the choice I made."
Oh, wow.
I mean, why would anyone justify a concrete choice if they were only speaking about a hypothetical scenario? The context entirely supports the network's caption.
Yeah, you are catching the exact structural flaw in her argument there. When you analyze the syntax of her complete thought, the whole hypothetical defense just crumbles completely.
It totally falls apart.
What we are likely watching in real time is panic mode. I mean, she saw the caption solidify a potential business failure into canon, and she attempted to retrofit a defense that doesn't align with her own on-camera context.
It's an aggressive form of damage control for sure.
And, she is attempting to move past this rapidly by launching a brand new free YouTube series offering practical workplace advice.
Pivot, pivot, pivot.
Right. She wants to change the narrative from losing money to authoritative expert as fast as possible.
Well, moving from PR spin on television to undeniable legal evidence, we really have to look at what happens when the financial reality of maintaining these television personas just collapses.
Oh, you're talking about the TMZ leak.
Yeah. TMZ just leaked text messages submitted as actual evidence in the Real Housewives of Atlanta divorce case between Drew Sidora and Ralph Pittman.
And these texts are brutal.
They really are.
Right.
Drew texts Ralph saying she absolutely cannot afford the $9,000 in household expenses. She points out that she already gave him 50% of her Bravo salary.
Wow.
And 50% of her endorsements and movie deals, but the most staggering allegation is her claim that he took $300,000 from her personal injury settlement.
$300,000. I mean, the contrast between their public image and this private exchange is just jarring. Reality television requires projecting endless, effortless wealth.
Exactly.
Yet behind the scenes, you have texts detailing a fight over basic household survival. And Ralph's response to her claims highlights this absurdity perfectly.
What did he say back?
He argues that she hasn't contributed in years, claims the mortgage is $25,000 behind, and then, get this, he complains that he just had to buy salt for the pool and light bulbs.
Pool salt? Seriously?
Yeah. They are arguing over a missing $300,000 in one breath and the cost of pool maintenance in the next.
And it gets intensely personal very quickly, too. Drew's texts include some highly specific allegations.
What?
Like a claim that Ralph was banished from their church for trying to date a politician's daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we're obviously just reporting what Drew is alleging there. We aren't taking any political sides, but that's what the text said. And Ralph responds by calling her a loser, calling her delusional, and telling her to pray for herself.
You know, those leaked texts basically function as a roadmap of the financial unspooling of a reality TV marriage. It really demonstrates the immense pressure cooker these cast members live in.
Definitely.
When the partnership breaks down, but the luxury lifestyle still requires funding for the sake of the cameras, the resulting legal battles over every single dollar are vicious. I mean, the spreadsheets and the threats become the actual reality.
Right, and that underlying financial panic provides the perfect lens to view our next situation.
Oh, we're going to Jersey.
Yes. When you understand the sheer cost of maintaining relevance, you understand why securing a contract is a matter of survival and why veteran stars try to manipulate the process. Let's look at the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Teresa Giudice.
What does she do now?
She recently went on the Couple Things podcast and claimed she isn't sure if she's going to film with Joe and Melissa Gorga for F15. She said it's baby steps and explicitly stated Bravo hasn't said anything.
Wait, but that...
Right. Yet an insider told Reality Blurb that everyone behind the scenes is completely bewildered by her comments.
Well, yeah, the bewilderment stems from the fact that Bravo has already confirmed Teresa, Melissa, and Dolores Catania are all returning as cast members. The network strategy is set.
So she definitely knows.
Of course she does.
Yeah.
If you are on the same ensemble cast, and you've recently made amends off camera, as Teresa and the Gorgas supposedly have, you are going to be scheduled to film scenes together.
Right?
The insider basically speculated that Teresa simply has her guard up,
Yeah.
and that the Gorgas will have to heavily mince their words so all hell doesn't break loose again.
Honestly, it feels like Teresa is attempting to assert dominance before the cameras even go up. By publicly feigning ignorance about the filming schedule and, suggesting she might withhold her participation, she is reminding production and her castmates that she considers herself the anchor of the franchise.
Oh, absolutely.
It is a total psychological power play. She wants
Well,
everyone walking on eggshells.
It is a classic preservation tactic from a veteran star who understands her value to the network. But consider what happens when you've been out of the game for a decade and no longer have a contract to protect.
Oh, Brandy.
Yeah, that brings us to Brandi Glanville. She stated on her podcast that she is finally ready to squash the beef with Lisa Vanderpump after 10 years. She even admitted she genuinely misses her former friend.
Brandy is even stepping up to defend Lisa against Sheena Shea's new memoir.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sheena wrote some negative things about Lisa, and Brandy is heavily criticizing that choice. Brandy claims Lisa literally saved Sheena early in her career by paying to fix her knocked-out front tooth.
I mean, that is a wild piece of history to bring up.
Right. But Brandy makes a fascinating distinction here. She says she has a legitimate grievance with Lisa because she lost $500,000.
Referring to the lawsuit.
Yes, the infamous defamation lawsuit where she was sued by Joanna Krupa for making unverified claims on live television. Brandy feels her financial devastation earned her the right to be angry, whereas she views Sheena as entirely indebted to Lisa for her career.
It is a very specific hierarchy of reality television trauma. Brandy feels she paid a severe, quantifiable penalty for her time in Lisa's orbit.
Yeah, $500,000 is huge.
Exactly. To her, Sheena biting the hand that fed her and fixed her teeth is a betrayal of the unwritten rules of their industry.
Brandy operates a bit like a retired sports commentator who still wants to call the plays from the sidelines. I mean, she recently went on Twitter to shade the current Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 15 cast.
She did. What did she say?
She stated they give nothing and argued that Dorit literally provided the only entertainment for the season.
Well, that outsider critique is particularly timely when you consider the rumors surrounding the current anchor of Beverly Hills, Kyle Richards.
Oh, the cast photo thing?
Yes. Fans noticed a glaring omission in a recently released cast photo for The Real Housewives. Ultimate Girls Trip. Roaring 20th.
That's the big anniversary show, right?
Yeah, Andy Cohen announced this massive 20-year celebration of the franchise. It features Vicki Gunvalson, Giselle Bryant, Luann de Lesseps, Teresa Giudice, Portia Williams, and over 60 cameos. But Kyle Richards is completely missing from the press picture.
Which is crazy because she's an OG. Her absence feels incredibly deliberate. Instead of participating in this massive Bravo milestone press push, Kyle is highly visible over on Instagram supporting her romantic link, country singer Morgan Wade.
Interesting pivot.
Right. Morgan just landed a recurring role on the Yellowstone spinoff, Dutton Ranch, and Kyle was in the comments cheering her on, writing, "Booked and busy."
It paints a picture of a star engaging in strategic distancing. I mean, she is shifting her energy and her public association away from the Bravo universe and toward a completely different entertainment circle.
It definitely strongly signals a potential changing of the guard for Beverly Hills.
For sure.
So we're at the midway point of our deep dive, and we want to give a quick shout out to our listener, Sarah. Sarah wrote in with a fantastic question. How do these reality veterans actually afford their extravagant lives when they threaten to walk away from these massive network contracts?
It is the defining question of the modern reality television era, Sarah. While the network checks are substantial, the true generational wealth is generated by converting television fame into a high-converting influencer marketing machine.
And we just received a masterclass in how lucrative that machine is, courtesy of Orange County legend Vicki Gunvalson.
Oh, this story's amazing.
It's incredible. Vicki's 40-year-old son, Michael Wolf-Smith, accidentally leaked her current going rate on an Instagram story while he was helping her film branded content.
I bet she wasn't happy about that.
Probably not. He casually revealed that Vicki was paid $12,000 for a single 30-second video and that they were immediately setting up to film another one for $10,000.
Let's just break down the economics of why a brand pays $22,000 for roughly a minute of Vicki Gunvalson's time.
Please do, because it sounds insane.
Well, legacy reality stars have older, wealthier audiences. The cost per mil, or CPM, which is the cost an advertiser pays for 1,000 views or clicks, is astronomically higher for Vicki's demographic than it is for, say, a 20-year-old TikTok star.
Right, that makes sense.
Her audience actually has the disposable income to buy the products she promotes. So the return on investment for the brand is totally there.
That kind of earning power completely contextualizes her recent life choices. She just announced she is selling Kodo Insurance, the brokerage she built from the ground up over the last 35 years.
End of an era.
Truly. And she explicitly stated she's tired of working 10-hour days. I mean, why would you work a 10-hour day at a desk when you can leverage your television fame for $12,000 in 30 seconds?
You wouldn't.
Right. She is returning for RHOC Season 20, claiming she wants to get the stupid out. But the underlying mechanism is clear. Television keeps the audience engaged, and the audience engagement drives the massive Instagram payouts.
Vicki demonstrates a perfectly optimized reality television ecosystem. However, that entire ecosystem relies on the television platform remaining intact.
And we are seeing that's not always a guarantee.
No, we are seeing multiple instances where networks are forced to intervene when the real-world behavior of the cast becomes a liability. Walt Disney TV executive Rob Mills recently gave a very revealing interview regarding the fate of two major unscripted shows.
The first is Taylor Frankie Paul's season of The Bachelorette. That season was pulled entirely after an alleged domestic dispute with her baby's father, Dakota Mortensen.
Yeah, that was a huge shock to the fandom.
Mills defended the initial casting, noting that the unaired season was fantastic and that her motives were sincere. He said she was raising 3 kids and genuinely looking for a partner. But regarding whether the season will ever air, he admitted they're taking it one day at a time.
Well, when real life involves police intervention or potential domestic violence, the network's risk assessment completely changes. Airing the season can be viewed as endorsing or profiting from a dangerous situation.
Yeah, the optics would be terrible.
Exactly. But interestingly, Mills also addressed the secret lives of Mormon wives, which Taylor is heavily featured in. Season 5 of that show has officially been cleared to resume production.
That decision feels contradictory on the surface, honestly. Why shelve one project and greenlight the other with the same central figure?
Good question.
Mills denied that the network was simply waiting to see if domestic violence charges were filed before making a decision. He claimed they were just being careful and thoughtful with the cast and producers. They are already halfway through production on Secret Lives, so they aren't going to scrap what has already been taped.
But they still have to figure out how to edit it, right?
Yeah, they are currently trying to figure out how to ethically structure the storylines moving forward.
It really highlights the massive logistical puzzle producers face.
Yeah.
I mean, with The Bachelorette, the show is designed as a romantic fantasy. Injecting real-world legal trouble shatters the premise.
Right. Nobody tunes into The Bachelorette for court dates.
Exactly. But with Secret Lives, the premise is already built around the messy, complicated realities of their personal lives. The network basically calculates that the audience for the latter will accept a darker storyline, whereas the Bachelorette audience just will not.
And speaking of the logistical nightmare of salvaging a season, that brings us to Bravo's Summerhouse. Jesse Solomon recently appeared on Joe Amabile and Serena Pitt's podcast, and he cast a massive shadow of doubt over the future of the franchise.
Yeah, he really did not hold back.
Not at all. He bluntly stated that he doubts Amanda Batula and Wes Wilson are going to make it as a couple. He highlighted their 5-year age gap, with Amanda being older, and stated that Wes simply isn't ready for a committed relationship.
Jesse was equally critical of his own behavior, too, reflecting on his flippant pursuit of Miller earlier on and calling his approach stupid.
That's some good self-awareness, at least.
True, but his most significant revelation was regarding the status of Summerhouse Season 11. He admitted that the future of the show is entirely up in the air, claiming that even the producers don't know what is going to happen until they get through the Season 10 reunion.
I have to wonder, though, are the producers truly that in the dark? Or are they strategically leaking this uncertainty to build anticipation for the reunion?
Oh, that's a very Bravo move.
Right. Regardless, Jesse made a crucial point about the planned In the City spinoff. The network's strategy was to transition a portion of the cast into this new city-based show. But Jesse believes the intense fracturing drama between Amanda and Wes might have completely derailed that transition.
This is exactly how network pilot strategies collapse. When you try to build a new franchise on a fractured foundation, like anchoring a new spin-off around an established couple, the entire investment sinks if that couple snaps.
Millions of dollars just gone.
Exactly. Millions of dollars in development and scheduling are reliant on the romantic stability of 2 cast members. It's incredibly risky.
Well, from crumbling network foundations, we turn to a dynamic that no team of writers could ever successfully pitch in a boardroom. We are heading to the Real Housewives of Rhode Island for a situation that honestly just defies logic.
Oh my goodness, this story.
It's wild. Joellen Tiberi revealed on the RHORI After Show that her own sister, Jen, explicitly asked for her husband, Gary's sperm.
I mean, the audacity of the request is staggering.
Right.
Jen is 41. She stated she wants a baby by next year and apparently deduced that her brother-in-law was the most logical genetic donor.
Like out of all the men in the world?
Yeah. And Joellen's response to her sister was highly practical. She just said, go to a sperm bank. What would make my kids and her kids?
It is an absolute genealogical nightmare. Predictably, this bizarre request fueled rumors that Jen and Gary had dated in the past.
Which is just so uncomfortable.
Joellen had to publicly debunk those rumors on the after show, offering the defense, he touched her boobs one time.
Oh, wow.
Imagine having to offer that specific clarification about your husband and your sister on a public platform.
I can't even imagine.
And just to maximize the chaos, Joellen noted that the ex-wife of Brian Pontarelli, who is a completely different cast member, also openly flirts with Gary.
The Rhode Island cast demonstrates precisely why the unscripted television model is so enduring. You just cannot manufacture the psychological complexity of a sister negotiating for genetic material.
You really can't.
Just as you cannot script a multi-million-dollar divorce hinging on a receipt for pool salt, the actual behavior outpaces any fiction.
Which honestly makes you question the toll this environment takes on the human beings living inside of it.
That is the essential question we're left with. As you consider the scope of what we've unpacked today, from Bozamu attempting to rewrite her own recorded audio, to Drew and Ralph battling over debts, to the surreal family dynamics in Rhode Island, ask yourself, have these stars lost the ability to distinguish between a plotline designed for the cameras and their actual real-world lives.
It's a blur at this point.
Right. How much of this chaos is genuine human emotion, and how much is a subconscious performance executed simply to secure the next season's contract?
It is a fascinating psychological tightrope to walk, and you really won't want to miss our next audio, where we tease a massive leaked audio scandal that is threatening to completely tear apart a fan-favorite cast.
Yeah, the fallout from that one is huge.
It really is. Until then, keep questioning the narrative.